Pod in the City is a Sex in the City podcast and thus contains adult themes and explicit content. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome to Pod in the City. I'm Amanda.
And I'm John.
We're two besties who bonded over Sex in the City in college.
And now, 20 years later, we're reliving it like it's our very first time. Season 2, Episode 7, The Chicken Dance. Miranda's interior decorator and her friend from England fall in love and ask the girls to be part of the wedding. That was the beautiful recap. Amanda's on mute. I didn't know how to... There we go. Oh, wait. Oh.
I got it. We're good.
Hi, guys.
Good evening, everyone. We just finished doing a rousing weekly roundup. Paid some tribute to Shelley Duvall. And, other
I'd
stuff
say
happening.
if you are just listening to our Pod in the City episodes because you just like Sex in the City, try it out with our other ones, baby. Try out our weekly roundup. It's kind of fun, very frantic. Good God, I felt today very frantic. I
thought the drag race would be over soon, and there's gonna be a freaking global one now. Give us a week to relax, drag race.
Well, here's what's gonna happen is I feel like we're now roped into. I gotta talk about drag race each week on there. I feel.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, hi.
Don't
Welcome.
worry about that. This is Pod in the City. This is the main feed. This is
really
the Sex in the
pale.
City zone.
Just turn the
Anyway,
guys, what the fuck? You know how professional we are. Yeah. So, I actually, if you listened to last week, I did watch part of this episode because I thought it was on last week. So I was like, oh, I've seen a bit of this. And I also remember it, obviously, because I like this episode. It's pretty good.
It is a good episode. Cynthia Nixon is very, noticeably funny. Everything she says is very funny.
I think this is really well written, too. It's pretty funny. Mm-hmm. Hey, guys, before we really get popping, a couple of things. I want you to, if you're watching us on YouTube, make sure that you're subscribed. Even if you just hit subscribe and you never watch another one of our videos again, please, good lordy, help us.
Yeah, you won't be getting those pesky AMR alerts anymore. I don't mean that. I actually enjoy doing those a lot.
They're coming back. I also would suggest
a lot of work for you.
Putting the bell icon.
Yeah.
I think if you hit the bell icon, right, people get notifications if a new
video
comes out.
It'll notify you half an hour before
do
live.
That, babes. Do that because we do go live every week. So,
you know what we forgot to talk about during the roundup? That our time is changing. Except it's not going to. We're thinking September now for Sister Wives. So I think we could still have a month or so to figure it out. But just so you guys know, if you do listen to our lives or watch our lives, and if you watch them live, especially, we're probably changing. Well, we are definitely changing the day. And I'm okay with the time, but we might. Yeah, but it'll be a different day because the Sister Wives lives will be every Monday at 12:30 my time. So if we kept it the way it was, I'd be doing at least, at a minimum, 5 hours of live back to back.
Plus, you guys do a ridiculously long, a way too long live. I mean,
ours go 3 hours. If we get
it
to under 2.5 hours, it's amazing. Yeah, no, I know. And we did this at the end of every year, we get all the other Sister Wives podcasts to come on. And we do this huge extravaganza, and those are over 4 hours, and they're so fun, but I'm so antsy and freaked out the whole time because it's make sure, is this person going to be here on time? And now we got to get them in. And is the sound going to be okay? And it's 4 hours of my anxiety just being right up here.
Well, that sounds terrible, but you are the master of your own destiny. You guys, if you are watching us, again, hit subscribe, hit the like button, leave us a little comment. In fact, that'd be really nice. But what you can also do is you can join us on our Patreon. Over on our Patreon, we cover extra episode each week of a whole other show or whatever the fuck we feel like talking about. And this week, we talked about Designing Women, Season 1, Episode 5, Mary Jo's Date. And oh my God, I actually laughed in this episode.
It was fun. And just the whole episode, our episode was really fun because I think we do better when we're a little more tired and not as like, stressed out about it when we're just like, all right, let's go. So
we do for each of our Patreon episodes, we do like the first half is us like talking about whatever the fuck we choose to talk about, and then we'd go into the episode. So it's a little more like splitsies, and it's also a really nice way to help us keep the lights on over here because maybe it's a struggle. I mean, it's a freaking struggle.
Right now, this is my this pays for my Ozempic and like a few meals every month. So that's good.
Does Ozempic?
Get that Ozempic kicking. Keep it.
It helps pay like 1/5 of my electric bill in the summer in Arizona.
When you got to run that AC. By the way, you guys, if you don't fuck with Patreon, you can also just join us. You're getting the video here. You can press the join button right below, and it's the same price as Patreon. You absolutely do not need to sign up for both, and you definitely shouldn't. That would be pointless. But I think that's pretty much it for housekeeping. Do you want to get
enough of us like shilling and being bitches? Oh, one thing I do want to shill is I don't think I've shilled it enough over here. Is that I have a TikTok and it's called Open That Doll. Go join it.
It's really fun.
I've actually been fucking posting videos. I've been trying to like regularly post. It's a struggle, y'all.
Yeah, they
posting
always come
stuff
up.
all the time is hard. It's hard. And then it's like having 4 jobs too. Because if you guys didn't also know, I am a realtor in the Phoenix metro area. So please, I've realized that I need to start saying that a little bit more because I keep forgetting to say it. Because that's how you get business, right? I mean, I have business now. Got lots of things going on, which is exciting, but also stressful. But if you'd like to buy or sell a home in the Phoenix metro area, let me know, babes.
I delivered somebody's like Shoppers Drug Mart, like 3 things of mascara and 2 really expensive bottles of suntan lotion. 5 items. I got paid $26 for it to go and then drive it across the street to some rich person.
Okay, and that's through Instacart?
Yeah, Instacart is way better, babe.
Yeah, I'm thinking I might sign up for
If
Instacart.
you do, use my code, and you gotta get in there quickly because sometimes you get put on a waiting list if your area is not. So get on that waiting list. Justine's on the waiting list. Anyone else out there who wants to do Instacart or Uber Eats, I love it. I don't think I ever want to go back to anything regular again. I mean, it's long.
Well, like when was the last time you had a job that was regular, Amanda?
When I walked out of that shift when I was talking about earlier. That was over 2 years ago.
So there we go.
So there you go. I mean, anyway, cool. Let's get into news and gossip.
Okay.
Sweet. So, the only thing that's really happening is that we're seeing more pictures of them filming. Got some fabulous photos,
baby.
This is the one that John put in, and you need to charge your fucking phone.
Oh my God. Well,
I would lose my mind if my phone had that little.
But this was taken at 11:36 at night. It was almost bedtime, so.
All right, I'll give it to you then.
Now, this is a terrible photo. I didn't zoom in. Sorry, y'all. This was a picture. I just did want to notice that there is a continuation of the ugly hats on Sarah Jessica Parker.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'd also like there to be more color. She's too
so this plain. Is them like walking into Sarah Jessica Parker's wearing a black huge kind of hat, and then all white on the bottom, big white dress. I love the shoes. And then a kind of a blazer. Kim, what's her name? Kristen Davis is wearing kind of a beachy.
God, I wish this was Kim Cattrall. Could you imagine?
Oh, well, I read an article saying that, like, there's rumors that she's coming back. Oh, I think I might have deleted that it doesn't matter. I read that, like, there's there's a rumor. That's basically it. It was a whole article to say like.
Well, I guess technically we could start a rumor. I mean, someone could say,
yeah, I mean, it's really just
the Pod in the City podcast
thinking.
said that Rosie O'Donnell's gonna be,
and it was really just saying like, because it went so well last time, she should. So like that's pretty much it. But hopefully, I mean, I don't know why she wouldn't just like
say 5 lines,
get the stick out of your ass and come back. Yeah,
go off, sis.
But Sarah Jessica Parker also, this is something that she actually put on her grid, and it's like her in this outfit, but I think it's her in her dressing room. She's kind of goofing around a bit, taking some funny pics. And is this the same outfit?
It's the same outfit. Yeah,
I really love these shoes a lot.
I love the shoes.
But love this. I mean, she's just having funsies, but the hat looks good here. It's different angles. She's getting some good angles on the hat. Here's another one.
Bad. This whole outfit looks bad.
I'm okay with it. I like it.
I hate it.
And then here's just I don't know what this was, but she decided
bring back Pat Fields. Because even if it was ugly, you know what? Pat Fields was a similar situation with Katie that you were just commending, that Katie swings for she at least like tries.
I can see Katie being like a muse of Pat Fields. I almost called her Fat Fields. Remember how Brad always used to do that?
Yes.
He'd go like Dyke Minor.
I still do
Mike's
that.
Diner.
I do that too. Have a tendency to want to switch people's names around, and like it's like
it's funnier.
Earlier on our weekly roundup, Amanda was saying that Katie Maloney does this thing where she sometimes wears like she tries to be fashionable. Like in a good way. Yeah. You kind of said it. You said it in a better way. I think that's what Pat Fields does, because I do recognize that. Now I am the one that says bring back Pat Fields, damn it. But then some people do say, oh, Pat Fields, made ugly shit too. And I have looked back and there was some ugly shit, but at least it was like out of the box or surprising or something. I'm not surprised anymore here.
Here's this again.
I hate Charlotte's outfit kind of too, honestly.
It looks like it's from Walmart. I'm sure it's not. I'm sure it's $800.
Oh my God,
it looks like it's from Walmart, right?
Yes, we're on the same page here, because I'm like,
it looks like cheap. US Walmart, not Canadian Walmart.
This looks like something that a drag queen, a queen on Drag Race would make in a design challenge who doesn't know how to sew.
I would wear in season 2.
Exactly, and is like forced. Yeah. It'd be like Penetration made this outfit with a box that was a sailor themed box.
Penetration, that was a deep cut, literally. Wow.
Because she gets kicked off against the first episode.
Serena Chacha.
Yeah. Doing
with a Miley Cyrus song.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God.
They do Party in the USA. Stuff. And they do.
All these millennials. No, we're millennials. All these, what's the next generation? Gen Z. Coming after us for being old and not knowing. Yeah, after millennials, Gen Z. Right? Yeah. They're coming after us saying we don't know Drag Race. These live in our mind rent free, just the way that Sex and the City does.
If a Gen Z person, I'm sorry, I'm not a boomer, but if a Gen Z wants to come for me for not knowing Drag Race, baby, I watched it when it premiered. Like I watched that shit on Logo motherfucking TV.
On TV. Bitch. And it was on actual television.
Get the fuck out of here. When I had to DVR it, bitch.
Yeah.
I couldn't just stream it, bitch.
I had to buy the DVDs to watch season 2 because I didn't start watching it until season 4.
Wow. Well,
let's see some other pictures here.
My car. Oh my Lord. Okay, I'm losing my
2012 is when I started watching it. There's this. This one's I like. This one I like. Not this one. This is
that LTW?
This is LTW. Nicole Ari Parker is her name. She's got a 3-namer. She's wearing all black. Maybe this is the funeral situation.
This has to be for a funeral because she would. Every other damn outfit they've put this woman in is some freaking busted. Now, I was just saying that Pat Fields swings for so I should be, I should be commending what they put in LTW, but they bust her up.
But it's not crazy
and this
enough.
Actually,
this is
the most normal she's dressed.
What TikTok would we do? Like black dress and an ugly hat. A black dress and a tiny lunchbox. Yeah, it's a bad hat.
Lunchbox. It looks like a toolbox almost too. Like
a little toolbox. Here's we love her, Seema. I like this. I like the color. She's wearing a dress cinched at the waist. She's got some big knockers on her. Oh, Ooh, my voice just cracked, and now I hit the mic. I'm a mess. I like this. The bottom is. Ooh, I don't like. You can really see the hem on the bottom there, though.
I think this looks rough. I don't know what's
gray on
going
top,
on.
maroon on bottom. I like those colors together. But actually, you know
It's
who had these colors?
unflattering.
Do you know what two of the Tony and McKelty from Sister Wives? Remember? Do you know who that is? Tony. He's that guy that when we did the episode with Jody, he sent somebody bought a cameo for Jody from him where he was explaining how to make enchiladas, and it was like a 5-minute long video, and he you were there when we watched that. Anyway, that's two of the colors of their wedding. It was silver, maroon, yellow, and like blue. It was hideous. But anyway, that's what Seema's wearing. I think she looks good.
I hate
the
this outfit.
hem is bad. Okay.
She's gorgeous. Outfit busted.
There's
this is cute.
Anthony and Char. I like in this picture you can see the tape.
Mm-hmm.
The what's that called?
Spike tape. Spike tape is what they call it in theater. I don't know if that's they call it.
I'm sure it's called spike tape. I like that. I mean, all of Charlotte's outfit. She's wearing a button up kind of a Golden Girls-y, like palm trees with pink in it. Button up, long sleeved with a high-waisted pink skirt with a big belt. All of her outfits look like something that I'd wear out during the day, and then it would be off my body 3 seconds upon entering the house. Like all of her outfits seem so uncomfortable, right?
A lot of them look like outfits you'd like wear to work. I don't.
Yeah,
I would never see myself dressed up like this to just be like out.
No, right, and she wears this like in the house, just like cooking. I'm like,
no, I know she wears like white tight skirts to be cooking. Like it's insane.
Yeah. Anyway, there's this. This is Seema and Anthony. There must be some kind of
who's dying
funeral or something.
Who is dying?
Someone must be dying.
Predictions? Who is dying in season 3?
Che Diaz. That would be so funny. That would be hilarious.
But like, okay, why would LTW be at Che Diaz's funeral?
Oh, to support Charlotte.
This has to be a funeral that all these people would go to. Is it Harry?
There's no. That would be outrageous.
Why would Seema be at? Like, I could see LTW being at the same funeral as some, but like, why would Seema be at a funeral? Like, whose funeral is this? I need to know.
Yeah,
is it Rosie O'Donnell's funeral?
It would really be funny
her and then kill her off in the same.
Or it's the woman with the braids. And then here's the last
Naya.
one. Oh, that's
they kill off Naya.
Maybe. That's it. Let's get into the actual episode, though. No actual news this week, other than that piping hot tea that Kim Cattrall could maybe come back if she wanted to.
Quick question, though. I like this idea. Predictions for how are they going to explain that Che Diaz and what's her fuck Naya aren't on the show anymore? Like, what are your predictions? Like, how are they going to get rid of Naya?
I think that they won't even mention them. I really don't think that
they have to. They have to.
Yeah, maybe not Naya. Naya was pretty insignificant, but Che Diaz is super significant to Miranda's storyline. So, like, it would be nuts to not bring up Che Diaz.
Che's,
it was a mistake
like
letting go of them.
I kind of do. I kind of agree. I feel like Che's, though, will be like moved to a big city, another city to be famous or some shit.
Yeah, well, they are hilarious at stand-up.
Like, maybe they'll actually go to LA.
Well, that happens in season 2, though.
No. Maybe they'll go to Europe or like somewhere like that. Like they feel like their comedy is too edgy for the United States.
Yeah, maybe. So edgy. I'm so lazy in LA. I took an Uber from my bedroom to the bathroom. Waka waka. Oh, they suck.
That's why I was laughing, is because their jokes are like, if you don't like me, you can suck my dick. Like, what?
People in the audience, snaps.
Okay, you're hilarious, darling. Love it. Anyway, are we
let's
ready?
Do this because I gotta pick up some package from Walmart later.
Let's get deep in it. It's time for season 2, episode 7, The Chicken Dance. Now, it starts like this. there are over 7 million. I want to start working on my Carrie voice. Like, there are over 7 million people in New York, not including house guests. Visitors are a vital part of the city's economy. Most single people in Manhattan do not buy furniture until facing the arrival of an out-of-towner. So basically the idea here is they're saying people don't buy furniture until like someone comes to visit them. And they're establishing here that the storyline of basically the whole episode, everything in Miranda's new apartment was handpicked and arranged by Charlotte's friend, Madeline Dunn, an upcoming interior designer.
Carrie Preston.
Who happens to have the worst fucking taste and makes like that frog. Okay. Towards the beginning, she brings in this fucking butt-ass ugly frog sculpture?
Vase? Yeah, sculpture.
Or like, is it like an umbrella
they at least
holder
wrap that storyline. Can I just put a pin in this? Because I don't know if I sent this to you. Because I feel like once I send you enough, once I send you more than three, huh? No, this isn't typing hot. It's really, it's cute. I feel like there's a quota for how many things I'll send you in a row before I'm like, all right, that's enough for the day. But I saw Sarah Jessica Parker on TikTok, and it was her from like it must have been like the 90s, right? And she must have taken over from Megan Mullally or something in How to Succeed, and it's her singing "Happy to Keep Her Dinner Warm," and Vicky Clark is in the thing, and it's so cute. It's Sarah Jessica Parker is one of just the most naturally charming people.
She really is.
Like she just, if you ever see her in interviews, even when she's interviewed when she was Annie on Broadway at 11, she's charming as fuck. She's so charming and cute and funny, and like she's gorgeous, but she's not intimidating. Like I wouldn't be scared to approach her. I don't know. I just really love Sarah Jessica Parker.
This episode had me too, kind of on my shit about, Carrie has been looking pretty shitty. And then there's a moment in this
episode too. I'm
okay,
like, stop whining. He came to the wedding with you. What the fuck more do you want?
Oh, see, I think then we're gonna have a differing opinion coming up here. I can't. Basically, okay, she has this ugly ass frog thing that this dumb bitch is like this designer who's I guess since Miranda does law, she has unlimited money because she just bought a humongous apartment in New York, and now she has a personal designer buying her all kinds of shit. Like, for real? Oh, but I guess it's Charlotte's friend. So anyway, what we find out is happening here.
You have to put in your head that like the internet wasn't around here. Like you have to always kind of think of that, because like now you would just go on like Amazon or like Pier 1 or something and just click stuff. But like back then, like you have to have somebody kind of do this for you.
Yeah, that's true. Or like you have to go to like
you have to go and
you have to go to Lazy Boy.
Time for that.
We end up finding out that the reason that she's doing all the designing is because what's her fuck's friend is coming into town. This random man friend that Miranda's had, I guess, for a long time, and they kind of make this idea that like she really wants him, kind of.
I mean, I guess, but he's first of all, he's only visiting. It's like, why would she care this much? And it seems like she doesn't have that much trouble getting that dick.
She must really have a thing for him.
Freaked out so much. But it didn't even seem like in the backstory she did. It was like, oh, their emails, their correspondence had started to turn slightly flirty. So like, why are you that desperate? Like, why do you care?
Do you think
she's getting laid every episode?
You don't think that there's like some man that could like that you could have maybe had like a flirtatious thing back in the day, nothing ever came of it, and then like they pop back up in your life and you wouldn't like kind of want to like try and get into it or try it out? Or
I think that everyone that I've wanted to have sex with, I just had sex with them like at that point.
Okay.
Oh, but yeah, I guess like if a man came to town that I've slept with, yeah, I would just assume like, yeah, we should get together and have sex, obviously.
Okay, but she hasn't slept with him technically.
Right.
It's more of a thing where she's never actually done it. So she's like wanting to do it.
Yeah, I guess I'm just so jaded. There's no one that I like have a crush on. I do miss that. I do miss having a crush on someone.
I do. You know what? I miss being fun. Yeah, I miss being in like a circumstance where I still get crushes. Trust me. I have little crushes on boys,
like real people.
Plenty.
Okay, but
yes,
yeah, situation where you're seeing them constantly and you can like plan an outfit and stuff. Like I don't know, that's fun.
See, mine's more like it's just fun to like flirt around with men, and a lot of them like they're with women anyway, but it's still fun, you know, give each other a little attention.
I'm getting
Fluff each
flirty with
other
some people
up a
on
little bit.
on my Instacart route. I'm starting to get to know people at like some of the restaurants and stuff, and they all
Really?
love me. Yeah, I'm very pleasant. I can turn it
Well,
on for those 10 seconds I'm interacting with someone. You would think I'm the most extroverted person in the world.
I would think listening to this, people would think you're extroverted. Come on. Don't you
But you know
think?
I'm not.
No, I know.
Yeah.
And I'm not either. I'm
No.
like, I turn
I
it
need a
on,
dark,
and
quiet
then like
place.
as soon as this is over, I'm like,
yeah, my ring light goes off, and I'm like, oh my god. Holy shit. Yeah.
Where was that going?
That is having a crush on
Anyway,
someone doesn't really.
Jeremy comes to town. Okay, so then we go to this scene where Carrie is staying with Mr. Big, right?
Right.
And she's like, "Oh, do you have an extra toothbrush for me, little mouth?" And he's like, and like
the whistling
happy
lost
tune
novelty after like 5 seconds. I was like, all right, that's cut it.
As he does this whole, I guess, physical comedy. Do you call that this?
I guess
where he takes out a new brush head and puts it on.
Genuine. She seems charmed by it, so I can at least buy a chemistry between them. Like they play the scene well.
Am I missed feeling for thinking like I don't like that concept of sharing the toothbrush base and just changing the heads for each person? Like, I still feel like I just would want my own base too, right?
Yeah, but still, this is a big flex. I mean, I can see how this kind of is a big deal. And once again, can we please just give a round of applause to the man? Bare minimum. She is wet, soaking wet from watching that he gave her just the extra toothbrush that was never going to be used anyway.
Sweetie, if we're talking about the bare minimum, wait until later. Because I about threw my phone at the fucking TV. But I feel like you're gonna have a different opinion.
Probably.
On that.
Okay, so
then Jeremy comes to visit. We cut back to Jeremy coming to see Miranda. And guess what? Jeremy's tired of dating and he's ready for marriage. And this makes Miranda's pussy drop.
Which is weird because that's not her character at all. That she hears the word marriage and like is excited.
I wonder what, like, I don't know if they gave enough of their backstory for me to really understand what's going on. That's definitely true.
Here. But I will say I loved Cynthia Nixon's outfit and hair in this scene.
I thought she looked
so
great.
Good. Like
I thought she looked really good most of this episode.
It was like kind of a satin, and you can tell it was expensive, like a satin kind of silver tucked in shirt, button up, like with trousers, like slacks, just very basic. But she looked so good, and her hair was just perfect. Like she looked gorgeous. But then
we're giving Miranda her flowers. That's great. Usually we're dogging her out and saying she looks like shit.
Well, that's because this is Sex and the City and not End Just Like That. Don't worry. We'll get back to the dogging out once we get back into that. But Carrie Preston shows back up. And I think that Carrie Preston,
I love that you keep calling her Carrie Preston.
Well, because she's Carrie. That's who she is, like in real life.
Well, she doesn't show back up yet because Miranda, Jeremy, or Madeline comes in at like
that's
when
Carrie
he
Preston.
Says that. That's her real name?
Yes. I've said it several times.
That's why I'm confused, because isn't that Carrie Bradshaw's name when she marries John?
Oh, yeah.
Isn't his name John Preston?
Yeah, you're right. Hold on.
I was so confused.
Such an idiot.
No.
Wait, is her name actually Carrie Preston? I feel like it is. Oh my gosh.
Oh, the actress.
Yeah.
And then can you also confirm that Carrie Bradshaw's name is then Carrie Preston when she gets married?
Yes,
isn't it?
Both are true at the same time.
Okay. Two things can be true at the same time. Yes.
That's weird. Okay, that's weird then. Do you think that they did that on purpose? Like, ooh, we'll do a little wink and a nod to the actress Carrie Preston by making Big's last name Preston. Oh, no, you don't?
No. In fact, in this episode, what weirded me out and confused me was that we don't ever hear Big's name. And somehow they've been able to find out what his name is from Charlotte in order to put it on the invitation later. But then they make a big deal that like nobody knows his name, right? Or is it assumed that in the show everyone knows his name? We just don't get to know his name.
In the show, they know that of course they.
Well, that's fucking stupid.
I think it is insane. And the
hot take, very hot take. Stupid idea. They should have never done that.
And just like that, after he passes away, Carrie still refers to him as Big. That's like outrageous. After he dies.
Yeah, your husband, your dead husband.
Like, I'm gonna go by the nickname I called him before.
I'll have to see. I'll have to see when I'm a widow if what I do. You never know.
But Cynthia Nixon's really funny in this scene, by the way, because she's like over laughing and stuff.
Well, it's very clear that she's trying to be the one that's getting it, and it's not getting it.
Right, but I feel like Madeline's a total bitch here because wouldn't she and also wouldn't Miranda tell her I have this guest staying? Like maybe she wouldn't, but wouldn't it be assumed that like they're clearly on a date? She walks in, she's dressed up, they're drinking wine. Why would Madeline think it's okay to like join in on this?
I hate to say it, but
sounds like she's a cunt.
Privilege. Yeah. She's got blonde hair, blue-eyed privilege there, baby.
And she's skinny.
Anyway, I do want to mention, I just got an alert that Sala Walloway commented on one of our posts on Patreon, and here's what it says. And this is how bad we are that I can't remember the shit we talked about in our episodes. Maybe you'll remember. She wrote, "I'm worried Amanda survived an attempted kidnapping." When the hell did we talk about that?
Huh?
When did we?
What episode was that on?
I can only see the.
Okay, I'll figure that out later because
I just am like, when did we talk about kidnapping?
I have no idea, and I will not be listening to it back. So that'll.
It was on last week's. It was on last week's Sex and the City episode.
All right. Well.
Okay. What happens? They all go to dinner together. It's awkward. I would never in a million goddamn years do this shit. She's basically the ultimate third wheel. And then they have this whole business where Miranda's like, okay, well, it's time. I think we should go. And he's like, well, maybe I'll just stay here with Madeline for a little bit. And she's like, well, you don't have a key. And then Madeline's like, he could use my key. And then Miranda's like, oh yeah, I gave you a key. It's all just so perfect. This would piss me off.
I feel so bad. I would be livid.
Drive me insane. So then a week later, this is 1 week later. A week later, Miranda threw Jeremy a going away party. And he says,
he's only been there a week. You're throwing him a going away party? Especially after all of that. I would be so passive aggressive the whole week. He would decide to get a hotel by night 3.
By night 2, baby. The first night you meet Madeline, I'd be such a bitch to you.
I'm changing the locks before they get home. Yeah,
I'd close myself in my bedroom. No, actually, I wouldn't. I'm a changed person.
I would close myself in the
bedroom. I also want to know, like, in this week, was Miranda really hanging out with him still? I feel like once he got his hoe, like, it was done for her. So
it's just crazy she threw a party.
He says, I'd like to make a toast to my good friend Miranda, who not only put me up, she threw this soiree in celebration of my departure. Okay, Miranda, I get the hint. I'd especially like to thank her for introducing me to Madeline. An incredible woman who must be drunk because she just agreed to marry me. If someone proposes to you 1 week after like meeting, I get that there's whirlwind marriage. Like there's people who meet and then they'll get married in a month and then be together for 30 years, I guess.
I've had people tell me that they love me on the second date.
Wow.
And I always say I love you back. Like always do, because I don't know what else to say. It's too complicated. Yeah, it's happened a few times.
Well, That's cute.
And then it turns into a fun game of me like being really withholding, and then by the end of it, it just kind of fizzles out, and then I'm the bitch. I'm guarantee I'm remembered to be just a huge bitch by all.
I'm sorry, but if you tell me you love me on the second date, I would end up being the bitch too. I mean, like, how do you not be the bitch in that?
And it's like, okay, I need the no, it's a little
Also, that to me is a
off.
red flag. That's not someone I need to keep pursuing.
Exactly.
So okay. Then they go into this whole thing. They're like, what? The girls are all sitting outside after this announcement. And they're like, how is this possible? They just met. And Charlotte's like, it's love at first sight. And Samantha's like, this isn't love. It's two people justifying a week of nonstop fucking. On my furniture, I have to redecorate.
And then Carrie makes it about herself. She's like,
oh, yeah.
Or, yeah, she goes,
or date someone for a year and get an electric toothbrush head. Like,
it's like, oh, were we talking about you, Carrie?
Also, Carrie, tell me, you've been dating him a year, or you've
well, no, they just got back together last
you've
episode.
Known him that's what I'm saying. So you're saying, or date someone for a year and get an electric toothbrush. I thought they didn't talk for like 8 months or something, right?
I don't know. The timeline's a little iffy here, but Samantha picks up this guy about
pissed me off. Oh yeah, because she's like, when you're single, the world is your smorgasbord. And then this man comes up and he's like, is this for the party? And she's like, come in my vagina quickly.
There's a funny moment here though, because he goes, I'm here for the engagement party, and she's like, it's a going away party, Miranda. It's just funny because it's already considered an engagement party. So
Miranda
Samantha
has a lot of those.
Dude.
Miranda has a lot of those lines this episode.
Funny in this episode. Yeah. So Samantha picks him up and off they go.
So then the girls are still walking around and they walk up to the house and Miranda goes up to the doorman and she's like, can I help you? And she's like, I live here. Then Carrie goes home and she calls Big. And this is their conversation. I was just at this party and two people who met a week ago announced their engagement. And isn't that a bit shocking? This is New York, nothing shocking. We've embraced public urination. But these people think that they're soulmates. Did they actually use the term soulmates? Several times. I give them 3 months. What are you wearing? And then they do this whole tete-a-tete.
Yeah, well, Carrie says, do you believe in love at first sight? And he goes, I believe in lust at first sight. And she goes, I'm being serious. And he's like, so am I. I totally agree with, I completely believe in lust at first sight. I believe in infatuation.
I completely believe in that.
You can't love someone when you don't know them. It's not love. It's infatuation and obsession, which is the more fun part, to be honest. It's the flirty. It's the crush part. You're not in love.
Exactly. No, I actually completely agree.
Love. Yeah,
I completely agree.
Big knows what he's talking about, but Carrie's like, I want this to make this about me. So that's fine. They discuss soulmates. What are you wearing? So now this next part is very iffy because now Carrie is joining Madeline for wedding planning and Charlotte is a bridesmaid. So was it established at any point who the fuck Madeline is to any of these people? Because I thought she was just some bitch that Miranda hired.
Madeline is introduced as Charlotte's friend.
Okay.
I think the only reason that she asked Carrie to write a poem is just because she's one of those type of people that, like, if you know someone that's mildly famous, you ask them to do your thing, fucking thing.
Sure, but why is Carrie out with her here? Because she asked her to do a reading.
That part made no sense. But
yeah, why would Carrie be out with her anyway?
She's like, she's like, who is this? Who am I looking at here?
Well, now that
night we went back to my place. Tug my hair. It all seems so familiar. She was having a deja fuck.
Samantha tucks the guy and she recognizes him and he says, she's like, she's like, you knew that? And he's like, yeah, I thought we were playing like the mysterious stranger game.
Which, did you think this was weird?
This wouldn't really, I guess this would bother, well, I will say there's probably I feel like your number might be higher on this, but I would say there's at least 5 people out there that I've slept with that I would never recognize them. Like never. They would really have to tell me and describe to me the entire, like where we, like there's names I don't remember. Like they would have to literally tell me exactly the circumstance.
Yeah, I think mine is maybe a little different than 5, but yeah, I agree. There's
and
people that I would.
What is he asking her to tug on, his hair or his ears? Because either of those wouldn't really stick out to me as being
Tug
maybe
my
ears.
hair, tug my hair. It all
Okay,
seems so familiar.
that isn't irregular enough for me to remember that as something notable. Because I feel like that could be a common thing, maybe.
I think maybe just his whole aura.
I guess. I really doubt I would remember.
They end up having this thing where like then the girls are like so shocked that she couldn't really remember, and Carrie's like, Toto, I don't think we're in single digits anymore. And Charlotte's like, I keep a list of the people that she's fucked so she remembers. Then we find out that Charlotte got to choose her own dress for this wedding, and it's a slutty backless black gown. Satin.
Yeah, and Miranda's doing the guest book, which is so funny because like Carrie Preston's like, yeah, Miranda's gonna do the guest book because she introduced us, and it's like nobody wants to do, like she's giving it to her as like some kind of prize. Mm-hmm. Nobody wants to do the guest book, and also you don't need to even have someone do the guest book. Just have the guest book sitting there on some like thing.
I'll just say, I've been to a lot of weddings.
Yeah,
and I know a lot of people who've gotten married. And just don't even do a guest book at this point.
Yeah, no one's
because what do you do with it? Put it in a fucking closet.
With me, like you from house to house as I move?
The people take it, but then do you?
Well, I know,
I don't think anyone looks through them or does anything.
Of course not. Like I've carried my wedding album with me through all of my houses, but other than that, I have nothing. Because like, I feel
we need
it's
to
like
do
really nice and like put together in like this really like expensive album. I don't know who made it for us, but like
I think we need to do I think we need to do a Patreon episode about it because I'm in that wedding album too.
You're all over it. And that was also back in the day with like where you'd leave like disposable cameras at each table. So then you have to like, print stuff out. And then I uploaded those like pictures of a picture onto Facebook.
Oh my god.
Like they're all on my Facebook because it was a fun wedding. I like left them up.
It was really
fun.
It was very like I would call it a hippie wedding at a resort.
It was. I thought it was successful. It was like pretty low stress.
Do you remember I went with you to go location hunting for like where to go?
Oh, you did. It was it was so easy. They just did everything. They're like, what are your colors? What are your flowers? Nice. The end.
Yeah. And then you had that amazing cake.
Scott Schmelder made that. The groom's cake.
Was amazing.
That was insane. Yeah.
It was like
it blew our reg when it came out of the water. Anyway,
you had another wedding cake besides that one?
We had a wedding cake, and then Scott Schmelder was like, "Can I make your groom's cake?" And we're like, "What the fuck is a groom's cake?" Because like we were the first of all of our friends to get married. So no, that was the groom's cake. We didn't even know what that was, and we're like, "I guess you can bring something if you want." And then he brought that, and we were like, "What the fuck?"
It was
the nicest.
When you say "what the fuck," you mean it was the most like amazing, stunning. I bet you that would cost $5,000 at this point.
And he asked to make it just for fun.
Amazing.
Yeah.
All right. So back to Sex in the City, I guess.
Yeah.
Charlotte's going to wear this sexy dress to the wedding because she got to choose. It just had to be black. Then we go to Big and Carrie are in bed trying to write her poem. And he's like, oh, love, dove, glove, shove. All that, like, trying to find.
I thought this was a really good conversation, actually. It was cute. It was believable.
We find out that Big is going to end up coming to the wedding. And that's pretty much all we get from that. Then the next scene comes and we're at the wedding. And all this, Samantha's looking around trying to get some dick at the wedding. Right?
No, because first Big shows up. It's 4 weeks later. I wanted to point out this camera shot because I thought it was pretty cool. It's 4 weeks later now, and the way we know that is it just shows Carrie's laptop computer, and it's her typing 4 weeks later. So I thought that was like a good directorial choice.
I must have been looking down during that.
Yeah, I was like, oh, perfect.
Myself.
That's all we needed. So 4 weeks later, but Big shows up to pick up Carrie from the wedding. I love Carrie's dress, by the way. It's like a strapless, kind of almost skin-colored pink. And
I think that's why I wrote Big comes to the wedding. Not that
he
he
shows up for
agreed
the
to come,
wedding.
but that got
And
it.
he's weird about the invitation, which I can see where he's coming from. I don't think it's a big deal, but I also don't even think he thinks it's that big a deal. I think it's more just like, why would my name be on it?
It
no one
is
knows.
weird, I think.
He's literally just there to troll her for the speech. He's like, I would never
He's her
miss you
plus one.
reciting. Yeah, like you don't need to put like it would be, but again, I don't think he even cares. She immediately took that and made it into this whole fucking thing. She's Sheena.
I think though the bigger part is that he refused to like have his name on the gift. That to me is more
That's
annoying.
what I'm saying.
No, you said the invite.
That's what I'm saying. Sorry, that's what I meant. I meant he doesn't want to sign the gift. I feel like I understand why he like why would he sign the gift?
I thought it was weird that his name was on the actual invite. But I didn't think it was
yeah, you're right. It would just say +1. You're right.
I thought that it wasn't that ridiculous to say, "Oh, just sign the card." Like this isn't even Carrie's friend either. It's not like
right, but I see that if you were big, wouldn't you also kind of be like, "Oh, okay, like I don't see why I have to."
I would just
but also, it's not a big deal. Yeah, I would.
I kind of was like not on big side this episode. Weirdly.
Well, I don't think he should have left during her speech, but then here's the next part. They're at the wedding, right? And immediately Carrie's already pouting, sulking, and Miranda's with the guest book again. Hilarious. She's being so funny.
And then Samantha finds out that her guy that she had sex with more than once is ending up there.
Her rerun, yeah. Samantha, this is one of my top 5 Samantha looks, by the way. She looks
so good.
She looks like she's from the 40s. She's wearing just like a beige strapless bombshell dress, and her hair is very 40s bombshell. She looks so stunning.
Then we do get this like introduction of this story, which I actually really liked what they did here of like Charlotte basically goes through through an entire relationship with someone in this like one night.
But it's totally believable too. It's totally believable, especially if the guy is like kind of feeling it and you're in the mood. I'm going to
slightly disagree because the most unbelievable. There were a couple moments in this wedding that bugged the shit out of me as a person who somewhat cares about plot. You're telling me that Charlotte met this man that she is walking down the aisle with at a wedding right before the wedding? Like, when was the rehearsal? Sorry.
Oh, yeah, I guess you're right. There was no... Yeah, they should have explained that. That's weird.
No way in hell. That there's no way she would have just met him just at this thing. You know, your videos.
But Carrie here, she's bitching and complaining to her friends, and she's like, they're like, "Where's Big?" And she's like, "Oh, he's inside looking bored." And it's like, well, yeah, duh, he doesn't know anyone. He's your +1. Why are you here? And you left him alone in that room. I'd be mortified.
That I agree with, but I also don't know why isn't he with her? Why isn't he coming around with her?
Well, I don't know, because she just left him. I think she's at fault here.
Oh, okay. I just think like if I were at this party, if I'm somehow have been left alone by myself, it's only my fault that I'm not going and finding the person that I was with so that I'm not alone. But he doesn't seem like the person that really cares about that much, I would say.
Sure. Agreed.
So, okay. So then Charlotte meets the man, blah, blah, blah. 6 months to find me an end table, and she plans a wedding in 4 weeks. $5 says your end table costs longer than her marriage. People have said a lot. Okay, so then the guy that Charlotte's with makes his toast, and it says, people have said a lot of nice things about Jeremy. I'm here to make a rebuttal. Blah, 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 blah. Then Madeline comes up and announces that Carrie is going to give a poem, and she says, I swear to God, she says, I'd love to introduce my favorite author, Carrie Bradshaw. Like, I swear to everything, she said Bradshaw. She did not say Bradshaw. Run it back. She said Bradshaw. And I kind of would have liked that if it was like more obvious if they did that, because
that actually would, yeah, maybe that was the joke. That's pretty funny.
But there was no acknowledgement of it, so I don't think it was a joke, because I feel like there would have at least been a look from someone's like eyes looking or something.
So
Here is Carrie's poem. It is somewhat interrupted, though. I'm just going to read what happens in this. And now I'm going to say, after watching Big's funeral and what she wrote for Big's funeral, if we remember, spoiler alert from And Just Like That, this is much better than what she wrote for Big's funeral. So I don't know what's happened with her writing, because remember how bad her Big's funeral speech was? This is what she says. His hello was the end of her endings. Her laugh was their first step down the aisle. His hand would be hers to hold forever. His forever was as simple as her smile. And during this, she says, and suddenly it hit me. 2 people were committing to a life together, and I couldn't even get a guy to be on a card with me. Back to the poem. He said she was what he was missing. He said she was what was missing. She said instantly she knew. She was a question to be answered, and his answer was, I do. Which is kind of cheesy, but also
choice on Carrie's part to do a rhyming poem, though.
I'm surprised by that reading it back. It doesn't at all.
It's you went with a rhyme with a couplet? I don't know. I don't know any of that lingo, but
I don't remember either at this.
But rhyming, for goodness sake.
This was kind of like where. Okay, so Carrie starts to cry, and she's like, I had no choice but to embrace the moment.
Because at halfway through the speech, Big leaves, right? Big gets up to take a phone call on his giant cell phone.
He takes a phone call,
which is fucked up. That is fucked up.
Especially because, like, a poem, a poem is short. Like,
yeah, and it's also like a quiet moment here. Yeah, I know. That was weird that he left.
Now, this starts off a whole thing for her, which is a continuing thing, but it feels like she knows this about him. And, like, she always expects him to be different than what he's shown himself
Katie
to
and
be.
Tom. Yeah.
True. Now, there was a moment here, another plot problem. They're dancing. And the wedding is obviously full charged. Like, there's been speeches. There's been Carrie's poem at the reception. I guess they asked Carrie to read her poem at the reception, which is also strange. You would ask that during the ceremony.
Yeah,
but I digress. I didn't even think about that till now. There's like multiple speeches have happened. People are in the middle of the dance floor, fully dancing. Party is going. And they're sitting down just now to eat salad. They're just now sitting down to eat salad. About 3/4 of the way through the wedding. This isn't making sense.
Yeah, speeches would be after food. Okay, but all that aside.
There could maybe be one speech before food, but people are not fully dancing while others are sitting there eating a salad. That's
right, true.
Everyone's sitting down.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I just wanted to get myself hung up on this. So then Charlotte and Samantha are at the bar. Okay. Oh no, Carrie and Samantha end up being at the bar at the wedding. Okay. And Samantha's like,
this is one of my favorite Samantha lines here, by the way, because this guy comes up and he's like, I'm sure I know you from somewhere. And she's like, well, we probably fucked. And he's like, no, I think I know you from college. And she's like, then we probably fucked in college. I just have always loved that line because she's so over it, and she plays drunk so well, Samantha.
She also like, I guess her thing is she's spiraling out because she's fucked everyone, that now she's back to the same people, or.
Well, she says to Carrie, like, see that buddy over here? Like, I fucked him. I fucked that guy too. Fucked. Right? Is that this? I never thought I'd see any of that.
Yes, that guy's at the bar before any of that. I chopped that piece out just for time's sake.
But yeah, she recognizes everyone. She's fucked everyone.
Because then Carrie comes up and she's like, it's the famous poet, Carrie Bradshaw. Can we talk about the poem, please? It was perfect, except the crying. What was that about? And she's like, Big took a call during my poem. It's not important to him. Nothing is important to him.
I mean, kind of an A to Z there, Carrie. Like, relax a bit.
I mean, I would
kind of important to him.
Now, I'm going to take Carrie's side somewhat in this episode, and I do agree that he was shitty in this. Sorry.
Agreed, but she really spirals a bit there. It's not important to him. Nothing's important to him.
Well, she's the type of situation with if this is my friend, I would eventually be fed up with someone like her because it would be like she knows the problem and yet she just keeps doing it.
She just likes to complain about it.
Yeah, it's like she knows that it's anyway. So then Miranda comes up and we find out the guest book person's also the gift person. And she's like, I gotta haul these to the car. Carrie, can you help me take these? And then she's like, be careful with this. And Carrie's like, oh my God, what is this? She's like, and Miranda's like, oh, it's my gift. And they're like, what'd you get her? She gave him the ugly dancing frog thing. And then Samantha like has a really genuine, beautiful laughing
drunk
moment.
laugh. It's a drunk laugh. She's so good. Yeah. And also earlier with Carrie, where she's like, the speech was so good, except for that crying part. What the fuck was that? She just plays drunk so funny. Yeah, that's picture.
That's where the photo was, just from on the cover, because I just thought
that
was
dress is so
too good.
So stunning. All of them look great here.
Even Miranda's hair looks really good. I agree. And I liked Miranda's dress. It gives me like I know I have a Barbie that has that similar sheer sleeve situation.
I love it. Yeah, they all look great.
So Charlotte goes to okay, so then we cut to Charlotte. Bridesmaid duty, go prepare the room to go fuck down in. You know, she's like, people usually put condoms, but I love to put rose petals. And then she ends up fucking the guy her guy. So again, following that thing of like going through all the motions of basically an entire relationship. Then she goes downstairs. They're done fucking, which she looks freshly fucked. She doesn't look hiding it. She ain't hiding it very well. And she ends up meeting his parents. And they're like, oh my God. Oh, she's a beautiful one. Do you think she's the one?
His mom, is she the one?
That's insane.
I would fucking hope not. We've known each other
just met this bitch tonight. She walked me down the aisle. She's the one. Do you think she's the one? Oh, yes, I do.
Yeah.
If my mom talked like this, I would lose my mind.
No, I just don't think I would even talk to my parents if they were like this. But yeah, so now Charlotte dances with his dad and he cops a feel.
He like squeezes her butt and she's like, your dad just assaulted me. And he's like, my parents have been married for 40 years. My dad would not cop a feel just because some girl is wearing a slutty dress. And I'm like, Jesus. Well, it's interesting because this is really important. I think an important way to show the diametric opposition or whatever to the real, like, they thought that it was love at first sight, and it only took literally 2 hours to realize this guy's a freaking douche. Not just because you're in this la la land of thinking like, oh my God, I need this.
And even that really showed you could really dissect his whole family dynamic just from those couple lines of dialogue. Because he's like, my father went to Harvard, or he says something like that. Like it just it shows the daddy issues in there and just like the generational trauma and like the rich people aspect of it. It's just very interesting. Well written.
I mean, yeah. Oh, I thought this whole episode really was very
solid.
Well
they brought back those frogs back around, like everything.
Exactly. So then this is where I get annoyed because Carrie goes out and Big is standing in the hallway at I have no idea of this wedding because again the plot that's all over the place. They eat salads at 3/4 of the way through, so I don't freaking know. And he's like, "So are you ready to go?" That would piss me off.
This would be me though. Is it time? But except I wouldn't be like this. I'd be like, oh, it's 9:30. So how long do weddings usually?
I would definitely be more along the lines of like, oh, like what else are they doing? Do you know? Or
Yeah, for
Actually,
sure.
I would just be
I at
having
least want to
fun.
know so I can mentally prepare myself. Yeah, that's actually true. I do have fun at weddings, the few that I've
I
been
love
to.
going to
I love
weddings. Give
weddings.
me a couple drinks. I'll hang out with and have fun with people. Get on the dance floor. I do dance at a
There's
wedding
that one
for
wedding, I'm
sure.
sure I've told you this on the podcast, or you already knew this happened, but when I went to with Jenny and Brad, and right at the end of the night, Jenny's like, "Let's do more tequila shots," and Brad was like, "No, Amanda, don't." And Jenny got up in his face and was like, "Don't you fucking tell her what to do." Jenny from the JJ Wentworth commercial. "Don't you fucking tell her what to do. She can do whatever the fuck she wants." And he's like, "Okay, fine." And then I ended up the night passing out and puking all over his car, and then he had to stay up all night cleaning out his car and then running back inside to hold his finger under my nose to make sure I was still breathing. Because then we went to Jenny's house and played Super Nintendo and got stoned, and then we drove all the way back up to Sun City to the ABT housing from Jenny's house in Tempe. And I passed out in the car, and Brad was driving with his finger under my nose the whole time because he was convinced that I died. Pulled into the parking space, opened the door, and puked all over the inside of his door to his element.
I just want to say I was sitting here. I don't know what the fuck happened, but I accidentally started the June Joan music just started blasting in my headphones.
Oh, well, it didn't come
from
out through
my
here.
iTunes. No, it was on iTunes.
All right,
I'm fucked up, dude.
minutes.
I'm not actually fucked up. Well, we have to read a letter.
Oh no.
All right, so let me wrap this bitch up. We're really close. Yeah. So they basically have this whole thing where he's like, "Oh, like, are they gonna cut the cake? When are they gonna cut the cake?" Oh, so I'll just read their entire thing because they actually copy and paste her. So you're ready to go? Have they cut the cake yet? I don't know, but I can tell you how it turns out. If you want to go, go. What's wrong? You wouldn't even sign the card. The card? I'm afraid we don't want the same things. Things like cake? That's
irritating. That's irritating because you know what I'm fucking talking about.
I know what my hand would want to do at that moment.
Yeah,
It wouldn't. It would stay at my side, but I could just
it's clenching it. Yeah,
I'd want to bitch slap a bitch if I'm afraid we don't want the same things. Things like cake. I want someone who's going to be with me until the end of a wedding. This is how this resolves.
No.
I want someone who's going to be with me. Oh.
She says she said, "I want someone to be with me till the end of a wedding."
And then he says, "I'll stay." And then Carrie, everything's fixed. Carrie's like, "You will?" Yay!
And then the thing's over, and she's like, "Oh, you lucked out." And then she's like, I knew that my destiny was to go home and eat wedding cake in bed with Big. That's my future."
Close. They have the bouquet toss, which is actually a really funny and iconic moment from the show that could be very, very gifable because they throw the freaking bouquet, it flies, and then like lands directly in front of all four girls, and they're like, "Okay, girls, see you tomorrow. Bye."
Yeah, that is funny. It's iconic.
And then they're like, Carrie says, "Some people know they're meant to be together. I knew I was meant to go home and have cake in bed with Big. Maybe we're more the fuzzy glove types." Where was there a fuzzy glove rough?
I don't know, because of the glove dove. Well, with the glove dove love thing.
Fuzzy glove types.
I don't know where the fuzzy came from.
Anyway, y'all, you know you don't come here for real in-depth, intelligent chat. So thanks for listening.
Great episode. Great
Exactly.
Episode.
It was really,
and the
really
next
good.
one's good too. I mean, season 2 is very solid. All of these episodes are very good.
I agree. Now,
and next episode we get to meet Steve.
Oh, that's next episode?
I think so.
That's exciting.
It's coming up.
Okay, so at the end of each of our episodes, sorry, I just had to literally burp. Ew, nice. Anyway, at the end of each of our episodes, we like to read a sexy-ish story that is sent in from our listeners. If you would like to hear your story read anonymously and you have a good one for us, or even a shitty one, I don't care. Maybe it involves you shitting on someone. Who knows? Email it to us at patcpod@gmail.com. You can also send your constructive criticism of our podcast. But I am feeling like it's now been 7 months. We're probably not going to change. So either you take it or you leave it.
Pretty much. Okay, so Joan sent me the screenshot. So I don't even know who this is, honestly. This is actually anonymous to me, at least. Okay.
Truly anonymous.
Okay, one guy I was in bed with.
Like, could you imagine if I wrote this and I sent it? I'm like, actually, I'm just gonna screenshot this one from an email.
That would be great, actually. And then I read it and I'm like, this person sounds like they're fucked up. This person needs
this person needs help.
Yeah. Ew, I would never be friends with that person. Okay, one guy I was in bed with had a gallery wall of family pics above his bed. That's fucking weird. One time after finishing, I asked about the prom picture that was there, which I assumed was his sister and some guy that I didn't recognize. That would be equally as weird, though. Like, no one should have a picture of their own sibling in their room. On their ceiling?
Honestly,
above his bed must mean like the headboard. Okay, that makes more sense.
I'm not a proponent of like personal photographs in bedrooms. I don't know. I prefer them in living spaces more than like your bedroom.
I don't think I have a single picture in my whole house of that I'm in. Like, or like a person's in there. It's all like art.
I have plenty because I'm somewhat of a narcissist. Just I have a lot of pictures of like when I was growing up, like I have some of my baby pictures up and stuff because that's cute.
But also you've lived in the same, like you own your house and you've lived there forever. True. Like I've moved so often that you just get rid of so much shit. Okay. Oh, yeah. I didn't recognize the sister. Keep in mind these pictures were above his bed where we would hang out. He says, "Oh no, that's Jen," and takes the pic down and starts caressing it and staring at it while I'm lying there next to him. I'm like, oh my God, what happened to her? Thinking she was thinking she was a family member that maybe died or something. No, he says that's Jen. She's the one that got away. I've definitely been here before. I miss her so much. See, my thing with when I'm dating guys, I don't really get super flirty. Like, you know me, I'm just very kind of personable and just like, I feel like if we're comfortable to like, people just feel comfortable just kind of telling me anything because they don't think I'll have some kind of a reaction. But deep down, I'm like fucking seething. But I've definitely had guys confide this kind of stuff to me. And I'm like, okay, why are you telling me?
Well, that's really weird.
I'm not when as you've cool had sex. As you think I am. Yeah. Oh, for sure.
So why is that still on your wall?
Right.
Put that in a drawer somewhere.
She's the one that got away. I miss her so much. I'm like, this is not acceptable. What the fuck? Get over this. We stopped hanging out for a while after this, and a few months went by. We stayed friends. Just figured he wasn't ready or whatever. So here I find myself back at his house one day. Oh, it's a rerun, just like Samantha and her guy.
Oh yeah,
back with the guy now.
That's why I picked this.
Yeah. We stayed friends. So I'm at his house one day. I look up and see the picture not there. I joke, "Oh, I see you took the picture of your girlfriend down. Ha ha." He goes, yeah, I did. I'm so over that chick. So we do it again. I assume that means sakes. Afterward, he goes out for a cigarette or something, and I'm staring at the wall of pics, and I see a different photo of the same chick, which has been hung in a different spot on the other wall. Like he replaced the first pic with another, even more close-up pic of Jen.
How many fucking pictures does this man have in his bedroom?
Among the gallery? So yeah, that's weird too, because that just shows the kind of constant obsession that this is still happening. That's a red flag. I hope you got out, if whoever that was.
That's the kind of lying shit that drives me crazy, because it's like, do you think I'm dumb enough to not realize that that's the same bitch right there? Like, and then I think you're a weirdo. I think you're extra weird.
And then you can't. And then the thing that guys have done to us for so long is, oh, she's just crazy. So like when I was with Bacon Fingers, I prided myself. I'm like, well, I never look at his phone. And even if I suspect something, I never say anything because I don't want to be the crazy bitch. I trust him, which is kind of how Ariana was with Sandoval. She's like, I was just, I believed him. And so you don't want to bring something up because what's going to happen is he's going to give you some kind of explanation. Oh, yeah. It'll make sense enough that you're like, oh, okay, I'll let it roll off. Oh, no, girls,
I don't
be more comfortable. Let's go back to being crazy bitches again, please, because guys are getting away with too much now. We're being too cool. We don't have to prove anything to them. We don't have to be cool. We can be crazy bitches. Oh,
completely agree
to a certain extent. Completely. Well, anyway. That guy sounds terrible. And Jen, wherever you are, I hope you have a restraining order because this guy is a little fucking.
A restraining order.
Yeah, get a restraining order. That is.
Anyway, babies, we love you. And bye.
Bye.
Oh, Jeez.